Over 60, avoid these 6 common mistakes that are secretly destroying your leg strength. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning just like any other day. You throw the blanket off, swing your legs over the side of the bed, and stand up. Except this time, something feels different. Your knees feel weak. Your legs wobble. It's like your body is betraying you. Maybe you shake it off, telling yourself, oh, it's just stiffness. It'll go away. But deep down, a little voice whispers, what if this gets worse? What if one day I stand up and my legs just give out? Here's the truth that no one likes to talk about. Leg weakness doesn't happen overnight. It sneaks up on you little by little until one day simple things like getting out of a chair, climbing stairs, or even walking across the room feel harder than they should. And if you don't take action, that weakness can turn into something far worse. Falls, fractures, loss of independence. But don't panic just yet. The good news? You can stop it. In fact, you can reverse it if you know what to avoid. Most people over 60 are making at least one of these 6 common mistakes that are secretly destroying their leg strength. And the last mistake? It's the most dangerous of all, and almost no one talks about it. Stay with me until the end, because fixing this could mean the difference between staying independent and relying on others for even the simplest tasks. Are you ready? Let's get started. Mistake number 1, avoiding strength training. Do you ever feel like your legs just aren't as strong as they used to be? Maybe you've noticed that standing up from a chair takes a little more effort, or that stairs feel steeper than they did a few years ago. A lot of people assume this is just a normal part of aging. But here's the scary truth. Muscle loss doesn't happen because you're getting older. It happens because you're not using your muscles the right way. Margaret, a 72-year-old retired school teacher, thought she was staying active enough. She took a daily walk around her neighborhood, did some light gardening, and kept busy with house chores. But over time, something changed. She found herself struggling to get up from the couch without using her hands. Her legs felt weaker, but she brushed it off. Then one afternoon, she tripped on a rug in her living room. She landed hard, breaking her hip. In the hospital, doctors told her something shocking. Her muscles weren't strong enough to catch her fall. Years of avoiding strength training had made her legs too weak to support her own body properly. Here's why this happens. After the age of 50, we naturally start losing muscle, about 1 to 2% per year. And by the time we reach the 70, that loss speeds up. If we're not actively working to rebuild and maintain muscle, our legs become weaker, and simple movements start feeling harder. It's called sarcopenia, and the worst part, it happens silently. By the time most people notice, they've already lost a significant amount of strength. But there's good news. You can reverse it, and you don't need a gym or heavy weights to do it. If you want to keep your legs strong, start with this simple exercise. Chair squats. Sit down in a chair, then stand up without using your hands. If that feels too easy, slow down the movement. Do this 10 times, twice a day. This one small habit can rebuild lost muscle and help you regain strength in your legs. Have you ever noticed your legs feeling weaker over time? Let me know in the comments. Just type 1 if you've experienced this. Mistake number 2, sitting too much. Have you ever spent a day relaxing on the couch only to stand up and feel like your legs have turned to jelly? That wobbly, stiff sensation isn't just discomfort, it's a warning sign. Sitting for long periods weakens your leg muscles, slows circulation, and increases your risk of dangerous blood clots. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize how much time they actually spend sitting every day. John, a 68-year-old retired accountant, never considered himself inactive. He enjoyed his morning coffee at the kitchen table, read the newspaper in his favorite chair, watched TV in the afternoon, and played cards in the evening. To him, it felt like a normal routine. But over the years, his legs began feeling weaker. One day, he stood up too fast and nearly collapsed. His doctor gave him a wake-up call. His muscles were deteriorating from too much sitting. The human body isn't designed to stay still for long periods. When you sit for hours at a time, your leg muscles essentially turn off. Blood flow slows down and your muscles weaken from inactivity. Over time, this leads to stiffness, balance problems, and even dangerous conditions like deep vein thrombosis, where blood clots can form in your legs. But there's an easy fix if you want to keep your legs strong and your blood flowing. Follow the sit-to-stand rule. Every 30 minutes, stand up and move for at least 2 minutes. Walk around the room, do some light stretches, or even march in place. If you're watching TV, stand up during commercial breaks. These small movements keep your muscles engaged and prevent long-term damage. Be honest, how many hours do you think you sit each day? Drop your guess in the comments. You might be surprised by the answer. Mistake number 3, not eating enough protein. You might not think much about protein. Maybe you focus on eating healthy foods, cutting back on sugar or processed snacks. But here's something most people don't realize. Without enough protein, your leg muscles are slowly wasting away. Weak legs aren't just caused by inactivity, they're also caused by what's missing from your diet. Elaine, a 74-year-old grandmother, had always been a light eater. Breakfast, a slice of toast with coffee. Lunch, maybe a small salad. Dinner, something simple, like soup and crackers. She thought she was eating well until she started noticing changes. Her legs felt weaker and climbing stairs became exhausting. At her next doctor's visit, she got a surprising diagnosis. She wasn't eating enough protein to maintain her muscles. After the age of 60, your body processes protein less efficiently, meaning you need more, not less, to maintain your strength. If you're not getting at least 0.6 to 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight, your muscles will shrink over time. That means the average senior should be eating 60 to 80 grams of protein per day, but most fall far short of that number. The good news? You don't have to overhaul your diet. Just make small, simple changes. Start your day with eggs or Greek yogurt instead of just toast. Add chicken, beans, or cottage cheese to your meals. If you struggle to get enough protein, try a protein shake with milk and a banana. A quick and easy way to strengthen your muscles from the inside out. What's your go-to high-protein meal? Let's share ideas in the comments. Mistake number 4, ignoring balance exercises. Have you ever felt unsteady on your feet? Maybe you catch yourself reaching for furniture when walking around the house, or you step off a curb and suddenly feel like you might topple over. If that sounds familiar, it's not just in your head. Poor balance is a major warning sign of weak leg muscles, and if you ignore it, you're at a much higher risk of falling. Paul, a 76-year-old retired mechanic, never thought he had balance problems until the day he fell. It was a simple trip to the mailbox. As he stepped off the curb, his foot wobbled, and before he knew it, he was on the ground. A trip to the emergency room confirmed he had fractured his wrist. The doctor told him something shocking. His legs weren't just weak, but his balance had deteriorated from years of neglecting balance exercises. If he had been working on stability, he might have caught himself before the fall. Here's why this happens. Balance isn't just about your legs, it's about the tiny stabilizer muscles in your hips, ankles, and core. As we age, these muscles weaken unless we actively train them. Without balance exercises, even strong legs won't save you from an unexpected stumble. The good news? You can improve your balance with just 1 minute a day. Try standing on one foot for 10 seconds while holding on to a sturdy chair. Once that feels easy, try it without holding on. Another great exercise? Tandem walking. Walk in a straight line, placing one foot directly in front of the other like you're on a tightrope. These simple movements can rebuild your balance and prevent dangerous falls. Have you or someone you know ever had a scary fall? Share your experience in the comments. We can all learn from each other. Mistake number 5, not stretching properly. Have you ever struggled to bend down and tie your shoes? Or maybe you feel stiff when getting out of bed, like your legs just won't move the way they used to. A lot of people assume this is just getting older, but in reality, it's often caused by something you can fix: tight muscles. If you're not stretching properly, your legs aren't just stiff, they're slowly losing mobility, making walking, standing, and even simple movements harder over time. Susan, a 69-year-old retired nurse, started noticing that simple tasks were getting difficult. She couldn't bend down as easily to pick things up, and standing up from the couch felt like a struggle. One day, after sitting too long, she tried to take a step and felt a sharp pain in her knee. When she finally saw a physical therapist, she was shocked to learn that her tight muscles, not her joints, were the real problem. Years of ignoring flexibility had made her movements restricted, leading to pain and stiffness. When your leg muscles, especially your hamstrings and hip flexors, get too tight, they pull on your joints and make movement painful. This stiffness doesn't just make it harder to walk. It increases your risk of falls, since your legs can't react quickly when you lose balance. The worst part? The longer you go without stretching, the worse it gets. But you don't need fancy routines to fix it. Just 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Try a seated hamstring stretch. Sit on a chair, extend one leg straight, and reach toward your toes. Hold for 15 seconds. Then do a standing quad stretch. Stand up, grab your ankle, and gently pull it toward your backside. These simple moves will loosen your muscles, reduce stiffness, and help you move with ease. Try stretching right now. How does it feel? Let me know in the comments. Mistake number 6, ignoring pain and discomfort. A little stiffness in the knees, a dull ache after a long day, a slight twinge when walking up the stairs. It's easy to brush off these warning signs as just a normal part of aging. But here's the dangerous truth. Pain is never just pain. It's your body's way of telling you something is wrong. Ignoring it can turn a minor issue into a life-changing problem. David, a 70-year-old retired firefighter, had always been tough. When he started feeling occasional pain in his knees, he didn't think much of it. It's just old age, he told himself. He kept pushing through the discomfort, thinking it would go away on its own. Months passed and the pain got worse. One morning he stood up and felt a sharp shooting pain that nearly knocked him off his feet. When he finally saw a doctor, he got the news he had been dreading: severe osteoarthritis. His cartilage was nearly gone, and now his only options were surgery or a cane. If he had addressed the pain earlier, he could have saved his joints and avoided years of struggle. Here's what happens when you ignore leg pain. It's often a sign of joint inflammation, muscle imbalances, or poor circulation. If untreated, it can lead to permanent joint damage, nerve issues, or even loss of mobility. The worst part? Many of these conditions can be slowed down or even reversed if caught early. So what should you do if you feel pain? First, don't ignore it. Track when it happens. Does it hurt more in the morning? After sitting too long? Only when climbing stairs? Second, try gentle stretching and strengthening exercises to keep your joints mobile. Third, focus on anti-inflammatory foods like salmon, nuts, and leafy greens to fight swelling naturally. And finally, if pain lasts more than a few weeks, see a doctor before it turns into something worse. Do you experience leg pain? What helps you manage it? Share your experience in the comments. Your advice could help someone else. Leg strength isn't just about exercise. It's about the small choices you make every single day. Avoiding these 6 common mistakes can mean the difference between staying active and independent or struggling with weakness and mobility issues. The good news? It's never too late to make a change. By adding simple strength exercises, standing up more often, eating enough protein, working on balance, stretching daily, and addressing pain early, you can keep your legs strong for years to come. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these mistakes surprised you the most? Have you ever noticed your legs feeling weaker over time? Or maybe you've seen someone struggle with leg weakness and wish they had made changes sooner. Let's have a conversation in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take action. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. It helps more people see this important information. And if you're serious about staying strong, independent, and healthy as you age, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new video. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content for seniors just like you. Stay strong, stay active, and I'll see you in the next video.